Welcome to Active Love Adoptions podcast. I'm your host, Mackenzie Love. And today I am here with Heidi.
Hello.
And Mindy.
Hello.
And Jessica.
Hello.
And today we're here to talk about birth mom coordinators and their jobs at Active Love Adoptions and just their tasks that they do every day with the birth moms. So, Mindy, do you want to start?
Yeah.
What's the process like?
Well, okay, so usually the caseworker will call and say, okay, this girl is coming into town. This is her itinerary. Can you pick her up from the airport? Because most of the girls come in from other states. So we will get their phone number and start communicating at that point. And basically, as the birth mom coordinator, we get them, once they come to Utah, we'll get them through the pregnancy process and work with them up through delivery and relinquishment. We're basically we're like the intermediaries.
Like their support system.
Their support system. We get them where they need to be. We, do what they need to do. We advocate for them whenever they need it.
Yeah.
And we're usually the ones that are in the labor and delivery with them. We take them, make sure we're there when they go into labor. We are, if we're not there in the room, we are there, get them set up in their recovery room, and then just make sure we're available to them, for however long they're in the hospital or for however long they're in the state. We are their contact.
Okay.
So, and of course the caseworkers are always in contact, and so are the social workers. But, usually we build quick and pretty deep relationships with these girls, and they usually contact us.
Yeah.
And so
that makes sense.
Anyway, I have my phone on me right now because I have a birth mom that's dilated to
Yay.
I know, so I might have to take off.
Yeah.
And you may come with me.
Oh, yeah. Party. I'm pumped.
Yeah. So that's basically what we do.
That's awesome.
I wish I would have had a coordinator with me during my process. I mean, I had family support, but it would have been nice to also have somebody to reach out to, go to lunch every once in a while.
Yeah.
Go to a movie.
We do. I mean, it would be nice. And did you have ended up in Utah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's different because they don't know us, and so most of the girls come alone. They, some come with children if they have them. And, every once in a while we have a boyfriend or significant other that comes with. And I think for the first day or two, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's the getting to know you period.
Right.
And I think once they realize, we're team birth mom 100% of the way, there's nothing that they could say to us that is going to surprise us. We've seen it all.
A little too much. I have seen
but I
some.
think that makes them feel, especially when I always try to break the ice with something a little bit like, what?
What do you do to break the ice? I'm curious about this.
Well, I mean, it depends on the girl.
Well, yeah.
It depends on the girl. But, I mean, I'll either say something gross, swear. Because I feel like that breaks down a lot of walls.
Yeah.
When, if you say the F word and they'll be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. But are you okay?
Yeah.
Like this. That's an icebreaker.
Yeah.
I may ask a disgusting question. I may, just do so, ask a question that is a surprise factor, to them.
True.
To break down those walls.
Yeah. Something that is a serious question, but you can laugh at,
Yeah.
And I'll be like, you don't have to answer it, but it's kind of funny, right? I had one girl that she's to this day probably one of my favorites. She was so amazing, but just stubborn and did the Z formations and wore a gold bar with her name on it, and just extensions that were multiple colors. And she was a force to be reckoned with. And she she would square up and puff her chest and just kind of come at you. And I stood on a chair, looked her eye to eye.
Oh my God.
And I just said, and I just said to her, I'm like, really? You think you're always going to win? I squared off with her. And she looked at me and she goes, dang. You're my kind. With no inner thighs. And I'm like,
No inner thighs?
That's right.
Oh my God.
That is right. So like you get these relationships with these girls. And after that, it was, I mean, we were besties. It was probably 8 or 9 years ago, and I text her to this day.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's nice.
I would have loved to have you personally as a
Right?
birth mom coordinator.
Right?
We're all so good though.
Oh,
You
yes.
know?
I feel like everyone at Active Love does a great job.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I do feel like it's easy to open up to you.
Yeah.
You're one of those people.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's easy to connect with.
Yeah.
And I also think sometimes when the birth moms come here, they're already like, they're scared. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
This is like, some of them it's new, some of them it's a repeat. Like they just like, and sometimes you just need to know you have somebody like on your team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for
And like
sure.
just somebody who will just laugh with you because it's a hard experience.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Totally.
a lot of serious things that go into it. So it's nice to lighten up a little bit.
Oh yeah, and I think that as the coordinator, we humanize it.
Yeah.
They've got their social worker who talks to them about like the counseling and gets them through that part of it. And then you've got their caseworker who is she's the one that's making all the plans, right? I mean I think that's pretty fair to say.
The
And
hospital plans.
the hospital
and stuff,
plans and flight plans. She's the itinerary girl, and then has a relationship on top of it. Like she's pretty close to these girls, but we
Yeah.
are the ones that are.
You're the foot soldiers. Kind
We are.
Yeah.
You're just in the trenches.
Yes. And so it's just, they can ask the questions. They can not say a word, I mean, anything goes. But we're the one that anything goes with, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's.
I know that so the birth moms that are out of state kind of miss out on that connection, I feel like. So because they miss out on the individual for you guys to actually get close to those.
Do you mean the ones that are in state?
Out of state?
Like ones that
Oh.
don't get
Oh,
to
that-
meet you
Yeah,
guys.
they miss out
Yes.
on that, having
the
that actual
person.
connection. Yeah,
I think so too.
personal connection.
Yeah.
I think so too. It's definitely I think that every connection I have made has changed me in some way. Like I feel like a lot of these relationships are equally for the coordinators as they are for the girls.
Yes,
And
yeah,
I feel like the caseworkers do a good job of matching us up.
yeah,
Mhm.
So
yeah. Well, that's good too, though.
yeah, it's awesome.
Well, I was wondering if one time if we could just have you guys still do the same job, but over the phone for the birth moms who are out of state. So
Yeah.
they have someone that they can call or connect to. I think
Do we not
even
do
more.
that?
I think that would be the caseworker.
It is the caseworker.
Oh, I see.
But I think that you guys have even more of a connection and stuff to the
Mhm.
girls that are here,
Mhm.
and you look at it differently.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that's why I was thinking to have you guys to still do that.
Mhm.
The coordinators still have coordinators out of state.
yeah.
So they have that one person
Mhm.
that's always they can tell anything to.
Yeah.
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 You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
just
I think
and
that
be
would be
okay.
I think
but-
that would be really good. I would I would miss being there with them.
yeah.
Like I had a girl, I mean, just like a couple weeks ago, she gave, I just adored her. I adored her. She was naughty, but she was awesome. She was so awesome. And, the couple days before the girls go into labor, there's a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
And so, you kind of ebb and flow with them. And so she really loved Halloween. And I was like, let's go. I'm going to take you to this place called Gardner Village. We're going to go and we're going to just work some of this out. We're going to walk. So if you go into labor, yay. But if not, let's just get some Halloween in us.
Yeah.
Like some fresh air and some Halloween.
Yeah.
And we ended up having the best time. I'm not kidding. It was so much fun. We ran around and she's taking selfies with all the witches, and it was fun to
Yeah.
watch. And then after she went through the labor process and relinquished her rights, and it was a sad moment because she wanted what was best for that baby, and she loved that baby.
Yeah.
So she, we're walking out of the hospital and she says to me, I just wish we could share her.
Mm.
And I wouldn't have wanted anything less for her. I mean, if situation had been any different from what I knew of her, if she could have just, drive through some of those problems that she has, she would be an amazing mom to this child.
Yeah.
But so anyway, she gets in the car and I could tell she's just drained. And we had seen this advertisement for this drink at the Crab Shack. And I'm like, let's just go get one. So we paid for this juicy drink that was I paid for it personally. Because I was just like, this wasn't a work thing now. Because now this is just like, let's go and do this. Like, let's go. And anyway, this drink had like a floating shark in it.
Floating sharks make everything better.
They do.
It was hysterical. And we just kind of sat there and just took it in. And we both cried.
I was going to say, when you were saying that, it totally made me like...
tear up.
Yeah. And I think they need that. I think they need to know that, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we are. As coordinators, that's what we are.
Yeah.
I'm
going to be a hot freaking mess, man.
Oh, you know,
I'm going to be
trust
brawling
me.
with everybody.
Listen,
well, not everybody, probably.
I don't think, and it's not, I don't.
No.
I don't usually.
Yeah.
This girl, there are things as a coordinator I have learned over the years, and a few of them is I can't get close to the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I distance myself as much, probably even more so than the birth moms. A lot of the birth moms want to hold the babies and be with the babies. Well, this girl wanted to be with the baby for 24 hours straight.
Mm.
And I, usually I don't hold the babies. I leave that to the adoptive family and to the birth mom. And, and because I'm there for the birth mom.
Yeah.
I'm not there for the baby, even though they are so cute and yummy and all the things. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just can't do it. So anyway, I'm sitting on the couch and, she has the baby next to her and we're just, just chatting and how are you feeling and are you okay? And she said, hold her. And I was like, I don't think so. And no, I did.
I just love it. You're like,
No, I'm
And I
good.
did,
I'm
like,
good.
No. And she goes, if I can hold this baby and give this baby to a family, you can hold this baby. And I sat there and I was like,
Fine.
so right.
right?
Yeah.
And it was like, I didn't even know how to pick it up. I was just like, ah! And I've got this baby in my hand. And like,
It's a little awkward.
no, wait, it was. The only reason why it was is because that birth mom put me in my place.
Yeah.
And it was so good.
Mm.
And the reason it's this, it has nothing to do with me actually holding the baby. But I made her feel safe enough that she dared to call me out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's your relationship.
And I was like,
with
you know
that.
what? She is seeing me for who I am too. And she's saying, no, you can do this.
Yeah.
So you get to those places. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was really interesting. And I went home and I got in my car. No lies. I got in my car and I sobbed
Yeah. Ugh.
after
That'd
I
be
dropped
so
her
hard.
off because because I can feel in her. And a lot of times you don't get this feeling. A lot of times you're ready to part ways,
Yeah.
and that's okay too. I mean, these women have lives.
Yeah.
And sometimes they want to shut it off from us and move on. And this is a chapter that's closed. And that's great too. But this girl, I don't know, she pulled at my heartstrings and I want to do it for her. I didn't want to give over all her money. And I wanted to get her in an apartment. I wanted to dot the I's across the T's before she got on the airplane. And so when I dropped her off at the airport with her cute little backpack and, I just sobbed all the way home.
Yeah.
And then we've been in touch every single day.
I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it good or bad? I mean, or is it just what it is? I'm not ready to let her go all the way.
See, and
Is she ready to be on the podcast?
We should ask her. She'd actually be pretty good.
Yeah.
She'd be good. We'd
I mean, seriously, we can do Zoom.
yeah, but she's not. I mean, I don't know if she has a computer.
I think what's so special about birth mom coordinators is that you guys, I'm sure in our past life or whatever you believe, you are the person that was going to help them through the hardest time that they were going to go through.
See, and that's what I wonder.
Like those
Because a lot of
birth
times
moms
we
are
don't
meant.
know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as you're, I know Jess is newer at this a little bit, but a lot of these girls don't show a darn thing.
Yeah.
And so we'll never really know. And I go off of that. It's just.
But maybe just because they're quiet, that doesn't necessarily mean that you haven't touched them in some way.
Right. And it's okay if we never know.
Yeah.
And that's what I have told myself a million
exactly.
times over is like, you know, my 16-year-old that I spent every waking minute either with her or thinking about her. And nothing. I mean, not even, like she got out of the car and didn't even say goodbye. And I was like, okay. You know, and there was a part of me that's like, I hate you. I'm not kidding. But I loved her. I adored her. I mean, she was my child. Like I thought of her as one. You know, if my kid was 16, what would I want?
Yeah.
And a month went by, and I didn't hear from her, and I figured I probably never would again. And all of a sudden, from a random phone number, so she had obviously changed her phone number, I just got pictures of the baby.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. She thought of me.
Yeah.
You know?
She was grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
She was a hard one, though.
Oh, she was a tough cookie.
Well, sometimes I think, though, too, like the birth moms, like they've never experienced that kind of love. And they've been taught to build these walls, right?
Oh, yeah.
They've been taught to not connect with people. They've been taught, like, you don't trust people. They don't really love you. They want something from you. And I'm not saying all.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if somebody comes into your life, it makes sense because you're like, some of the backstories you hear, you're like, well, of course they're not connecting with me or saying thank you or saying any of these things because maybe they don't know how. Maybe they've never been told.
Or they're
maybe
in survival mode. And
it's like fight or flight. They're totally like, I just got to survive this.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
Well, and it just to exactly your point, what you said is like when you give yourself and give your time and give your energy and give that, when you do it without expectations of receiving back, it changes. It's a game changer.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it makes us good at our jobs.
Yeah.
And I think that would
sure.
be, you know, if anybody's looking into getting into this position, I think that that's some of the best advice that you could get is, you know what, don't go into this thinking that you're going to receive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you receive in so many different ways. And there, you know, I mean, this is the whole entire job is, you know,
well, I always
touchy-feely, but if you don't
like
expect
service.
it, it's that much better.
Yeah, it's
Right?
like a
Yeah.
service. You have
Yeah.
to be service-minded,
Yeah.
I think, with it. So
Yeah.
you're giving service to someone. Yeah, and you don't need anything back in return.
When you set expectations, right? If you're like, I'm doing this not to receive, that's an expectation. And then you don't get upset.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, my feelings, I'm like, my feelings are hurt because they're not like, they're not accepting me. But it's like, but if you've already set that boundary of like, this is, I'm doing this and these are my expectations, then you have a greater chance of not being hurt
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the process.
Yeah.
Because like you're human, right?
Right.
Like you have feelings.
Yeah.
Like you're not like, you're like, I can't be a stone wall all
No.
the time.
Oh my
and
gosh,
so it's
yeah.
like, it can be painful, I'm sure, sometimes when you're like, I just like, even a twinkle in your eye, give me
Right,
something.
give me
Even
something.
though you're like, I don't want anything. I'm not
Oh my
expecting
gosh.
anything, but like maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Oh, I with
Like a
my
high five.
with that
Yeah.
16-year-old, I worked so hard just to get like a half lip, like a. I'm not joking.
But also, is
And
that just 16-year-olds in general?
Oh,
Yeah.
totally. She did get along with my daughter so well.
Oh, good.
Like I introduced her to Macy, and I almost like wanted Macy to come with me everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was the only time I saw her actually come out of her shell. We played, I can't even tell you how many games of Yahtzee, just because she actually, you know, was a human. And like let go of all the walls and was good.
So you're like,
She
Yahtzee
had
today?
well, she had a hard life though. I mean, from what she came from.
For sure. But I mean,
Oh,
like as a coordinator, there is no like, you know, you say, okay, what do you do? I mean, never in a million years would I have guessed that I spent probably 5 hours playing Yahtzee,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know? And I did because you
Whatever.
could just tell like she was at home a little bit,
Mhm.
you know, and that's kind of what we want to do. I mean, gosh, you want to make the last weeks of their pregnancy as doable as possible.
Yeah.
So we play Yahtzee.
Yeah.
She beat me, which was, I mean, it got a little intense.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Like I might be competitive. It's
I
fine.
kept saying to her, I'm like, that's just beginner's luck. And then like 6 games in when she's still schooling everybody, I was like, No,
I
no,
can't say beginner's luck anymore.
no. And it got real. I was like standing up and then throwing the dice.
I can see Mindy on
Yeah,
the
maybe
table
if you
like,
throw it
watch
harder."
this.
Oh, no. Seriously. I was like, you will not. I kept the little papers though.
Oh, that's
hilarious.
cute.
I know. I took a picture of it and sent it to her the other day.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Well, thank you both for doing what you do.
Yeah.
and handling the birth moms and being that person for them.
We're just a small part.
Yeah.
But
An important one.
makes
Very important one.
It's a good one. It's a good
Yeah.
position.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been in it for 3 seconds.
I know. I know, but still.
No, but it's definitely been eye-opening, just like the couple things that I've done so far. It's definitely been something very, very fascinating.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, I love the world of adoption. All the good, bad, ugly, funny, gross, all the things.
Yeah.
So fun.
There's a lot of things.
There's a lot that goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're pregnant and looking to adopt and you want Mindy to be your birth mom coordinator.
There are so many others that are equally as good, if not better.
Yes.
In fact, I'm sure that some of the caseworkers would be like, yeah, you'd rather have this one.
All right, fine. I'll cut that out too. Good God. Just kidding. I'm getting tired. I shouldn't have talked for an hour before this.
That was fun.
We're just running on adrenaline now.
Yeah, now we're like, All right. Well, thank you both for coming on today.
Thank you.
Yeah.